When stars aligned, Lisa Morgan stepped off the landing ramp onto soil that had never felt human boots before, and she did not hesitate or look back at her nervous crew waiting in the ship behind her. The alien guards were twice her height with silver, skin that caught the light of 3 suns hanging in a purple sky, and they carried weapons that hummed with energy she could not name. But Lisa walked between them like she owned the path ahead. The palace rose before her, all crystalline towers and floating platforms that defied gravity itself. But what caught her attention was the figure waiting at the top of the stairs, where the entrance yawned open like a mouth ready to swallow her whole. Empress Valara stood with perfect stillness, wearing robes that seemed woven from starlight itself, and her violet eyes tracked Lisa's approach with the focus of a predator, watching prey that had wandered too close. Lisa climbed the stairs without breaking stride, and when she reached the top, she did not bow or lower her gaze. Instead, she smiled and said the words that would change everything between them. "You sent for the human ambassador, but I think what you really wanted was to see if we scare easily." The guards tensed, and the assembled court behind the Empress drew in a collective breath because no one spoke to Valara this way. No one dared. But the Empress did not signal for punishment. Instead, her lips curved into something that might have been amusement, or might have been the beginning of a hunt. "Come inside, little human, and we shall see what else you are willing to say when there are no witnesses." The throne room stretched vast and empty, except for the 2 of them, because Valara had dismissed everyone with a gesture that allowed no argument. And now Lisa stood in the center of that enormous space, feeling the weight of those violet eyes examining her from the throne above. "Your species wishes to join the galactic community," Valara said, and her voice was smooth like silk hiding. "Knives beneath, but you have no advanced technology, no military strength, no resources we need? So tell me why I should not send you back to your little planet and forget humans exist." Lisa clasped her hands behind her back and met that gaze without flinching. "Because you are bored." The words hung in the air like a thrown gauntlet. "Every species in this room today bows and scrapes and tells you what you want to hear." Lisa continued walking slowly forward without permission. "Nobody challenges you. Nobody surprises you, and you have been ruling for so long that each day bleeds into the next with nothing to break the pattern." She stopped at the base of the throne platform, close enough now to see the way Valara's expression had shifted from amusement to something sharper. Something hungry. "We humans might not have your technology or your armies, but we have something you have forgotten how to find. And what is that? Unpredictability." Valara rose from her throne in one fluid motion and descended the steps until she stood directly before Lisa, close enough that Lisa had to tilt her head back to maintain eye contact. But she did not step away. "You are either very brave or very foolish." Lisa smiled again. "I have been called both, and usually by the same people within the same hour." The Empress circled her slowly like she was examining a puzzle that refused to be solved, and Lisa held still, letting herself be observed because she knew this was part of the dance they were doing, the unspoken negotiation that had nothing to do with treaties or trade agreements. "Your crew is terrified," Valara said, stopping behind Lisa so close that Lisa could feel the heat radiating from her alien body. "They think I will have you executed for your insolence then. They do not know me very well, and you think I will not." Lisa turned her head just enough to catch Valara's gaze over her shoulder. "If you wanted me dead, I would not have made it past your guards, and we both know it." For a long moment, neither of them moved, and the air between them crackled with something that was not quite hostility and not quite anything else either. "Tomorrow," Valara said, finally stepping back, "you will face the trial of worth. It is how we determine if a species has the strength to stand among us, and if you fail, your people will never be welcome here again." Lisa turned to face her fully. "And if I succeed, then perhaps I will find you interesting enough to keep around." The arena was carved from black stone that seemed to drink in light, and the stands above were filled with thousands of alien spectators who had come to watch the human attempt. The impossible. Lisa stood in the center wearing simple clothes, because she had refused the armor they offered and carried no weapon, because none had been provided. The trial was simple in concept but brutal in execution. She would face 3 challenges designed to test strength, speed, and intelligence, and each challenge had been calibrated for alien physiology, not human. The first challenge emerged from a gate on the far side, shadows resolving into a massive creature with too many limbs and eyes that glowed red in the darkness. It charged, and Lisa ran not away but toward it at an angle that made the crowd gasp, because no one ran toward the beast. At the last second she dropped and slid across the smooth stone passing under its body, as its claws raked the air where she had been, and before it could turn she was already climbing the arena wall using cracks and handholds that alien observers had not noticed in centuries of watching trials. The beast followed, but its size worked against it. Here and Lisa reached a ledge high above where a crystal pulsed with light, the marker she needed to claim. She grabbed it and held it high, and the beast below roared in frustration as the gate opened to recall it. The crowd murmured because no one had ever completed the first trial that way. The second challenge was a maze that shifted and changed, its walls rising and falling in patterns designed to disorient and trap, but Lisa did not try to memorize the pattern. Instead, she pulled a small compact mirror from her pocket and used it to reflect light from above, creating markers only she could see. She moved through the maze with increasing confidence, turning the challenge into a game she was winning, and when she emerged on the other side in half the expected time, the murmurs grew louder. The third challenge was the cruelest, because it was not physical at all. Hologram appeared before her, showing her homeworld Earth, and then showing simulations of what would happen if she failed here. The rejection, the isolation, the slow decline of her species without galactic support. It was designed to break resolve, to make the challenger doubt and give up. Lisa watched it all with dry eyes, and when it finished, she spoke clearly enough for her voice to carry. "You think showing me consequences will make me afraid. But you do not understand humans at all. Fear of failure is exactly what makes us fight harder." She walked through the hologram, dismissing it, and claimed the final marker. The arena fell silent. Lisa stood in the center, breathing hard but standing tall, and she looked up at the Imperial box where Valara sat watching. The Empress rose and the crowd rose with her. "The human has passed the trial of worth," Valara announced, and her voice carried across the arena with weight that felt like gravity itself. "But more than that, she has shown us something we had forgotten." She descended from the box, moving through the crowd that parted before her until she stood at the edge of the arena, looking down at Lisa. "She has shown us that strength is not only in size or speed or raw power, but in the refusal to accept defeat, in the creativity to find new paths, and in the courage to face the unknown without looking away." Valara extended her hand downward. "Welcome to the galactic community." Lisa Morgan of Earth. Lisa climbed up and took that hand, and the contact sent a jolt through both of them, something electric and unexpected. That evening, Lisa was summoned again to private chambers, but this time the invitation felt different. Valara stood by a window overlooking the city lights spreading below, like scattered stars, and she did not turn when Lisa entered. "You surprised me today," she said quietly, and there was something in her voice that Lisa had not heard before, something almost vulnerable. "That was the plan," Lisa replied, moving to stand beside her at the window. "I have ruled for 300 years, Valara continued, and in all that time I have never met anyone who did not either fear me or want something from me." Lisa glanced at her. "I want something." Valara finally turned to face her. "What?" Lisa met those violet eyes steadily. "I want you to stop pretending that crown does not get heavy sometimes." For a long moment Valara simply stared, and then something in her expression cracked just slightly. "You see too much human." Lisa smiled. "That seems to be my specialty." Valara reached out slowly, like she was testing whether this moment was real, and brushed a strand of hair from Lisa's face. "Your species will be granted full membership and access to our technology and knowledge, but there is something else I want to offer you." Lisa's heart was beating faster, but she kept her voice steady. "What is that?" "Stay here. Not as an ambassador, but as my advisor, my companion, someone who will tell me the truth even when it is inconvenient. Especially when it is inconvenient." Lisa corrected. Valara's lips curved into a genuine smile, the first Lisa had seen from her. "Yes, especially." Then Lisa pretended to consider, though they both knew she had already decided. "I suppose Earth can manage without me for a while, and someone needs to make sure you do not get too comfortable on that." Throne Valara laughed, and the sound was like music in the quiet room. I suspect comfortable is the last thing I will be with you around, good Lisa said, and stepped closer, closing the distance between them because some things did not need words. The window behind them framed a view of two worlds beginning to understand each other. But in that moment, the universe had narrowed to J.